Hi there, welcome to Focus 15 Spanish. I'm a Spanish grammar guy here to help you with all things Spanish grammar. And today I'm going to look at using the subjunctive in Spanish, but when we're using time expressions, temporal clauses, what you might say. We'll get to that in a minute. People are often taught that the subjunctive in Spanish is used to express doubt or uncertainty. But when it comes to the subjunctive in Spanish, it's best not to try and learn a single rule for it, because there isn't one. Well, if there is, it's far too complicated. But the subjunctive is a mood and often depends on the intention of the speaker and what they mean. So the best thing for the subjunctive is to learn when to use it, rather than try to understand why or what does it mean. So this video is to try to explain one of those occasions when you need to use a subjunctive. And that's when using words that relate to the time something happened, when something was done, what we might call temporal clauses or subordinators of time. Expressions such as después de que, mientras que, cuando, desde que, en cuanto, tan pronto como, hasta que, antes de que, una vez que, and others like these. So the rule here is actually quite simple. When these time clauses refer to something that is in the future, then we need to use the subjunctive, because the subjunctive is used to refer to future unknowns, things in the future that we don't know when they will happen. So let's take a look at some examples. Here's an English sentence. After I finish, I'll go home. So in Spanish, we need to say, después de que termine, me iré a casa, because finishing is in the future. Let's take another one. As soon as they arrive, call me. En cuanto lleguen, llámame, because again, the idea of them arriving is happening in the future. It's a future unknown as to when they will arrive. Another one. I'll tell her when I see her. Se lo diré cuando la vea. Okay? But the subjunctive is not used when a time expression refers to the past or to something you do always, a habitual action. For example, después de que terminó, se fue a casa. After I finished, I went home. So here, after we use después de que, it's in the past tense. So it's something that's already happened. It's not a future unknown. So we don't need the subjunctive. The next one is a habitual action, something you do all the time. For example, cuando estoy con ella, siempre habla de ti. When I'm with her, she always speaks about you. Okay, habitual action. So therefore, with these time expressions, you don't need the subjunctive. Let's just do a couple of translations for practice. So here's an English sentence. As soon as I can, I'll buy a watch. Now, as soon as could be tan pronto como, or apenas, or en cuanto. So use any of these time expressions, and then the verb poder, as soon as I can, so it's a future unknown, I will buy a watch. So we could say en cuanto pueda, or apenas pueda, or tan pronto como pueda, me compraré un reloj. Okay, let's do another one. English sentence. I'll remind her when I see her. So you don't know when you're going to see her, so that's a future unknown. You will need the subjunctive here. And you could use something like when I see her, cuando, most obviously, or siempre que, which might translate to something like whenever. So siempre que o cuando la vea, subjunctive, se lo recordaré. I will remind her of it, lo. And let's do one more. As soon as I can, I'll ring you, just like the previous translation. You could say tan pronto como, or apenas, or en cuanto. Okay, so for example, en cuanto pueda, te llamo. As soon as I can, I'll call you. Okay, so it's not difficult. It's just when we're using these time expressions and they refer to a future unknown, that's when we use the subjunctive. Okay, that's it for now on this use of the subjunctive. There are lots of other types of sentences that also use the subjunctive, but these are covered in other videos. Just search for the Spanish Grammar Guy on Focus 15 Spanish on YouTube. Thanks for watching and see you next time.